Hey trans youth, it's Kaden. First off, I'll start with an apology that I missed last week. I just got a new job, so I'm trying to stay on top of that, and it's a little stressful for me because I've been out of work for about 9 months. So sorry. So I'll quickly cover last week a little bit on detransitioning. My main view on this is no, I don't want to, and I never thought about it. I never said, hey, maybe it's better. Although, you know, sure, I have questions in that area, like, would it have been easier, you know, if I hadn't transitioned at all and then went back? But I've never once regretted it or said to myself I shouldn't have. I think it was one of the best decisions I've ever made for myself. And I'm really happy I did it. So, yeah. I mean, detransitioning is not a bad thing. It definitely could be tough for people. So people that are willing or even go through with that, gotta be strong. And the people around them also, because it affects them just as much. So, yeah. So this week is actually stealth, which I kind of tried that and it didn't work for me. I almost feel the need to tell people. At first, when I first started testosterone, the word transgendered or transsexual or, you know, tranny is I assumed as a negative thing, and now that I'm a part of that, I don't see it that way anymore. I've just come to terms and come to peace with who I am, and it didn't come overnight, but yeah, I guess when I was younger, I think I saw a video on this, I forget who did it, but it was a trans woman, and she said that the word tranny belonged to the M to F side of the transgendered spectrum, I guess, and it belonged to them because it was connected to the more feminine, like, feminine version, where, you know, back in the day when men would see women that were masculine, they would call them tranny, but they never really connected that word with F to M's. So in a way, us F to M's kind of got away easy, and yeah, and I think that I kind of assumed that it was a bad thing. So when I first thought I thought I was just this weirdo freak, and it wasn't a good time, but I decided to do it because I felt like it would make me happier, and I did, and it has, and the only thing is I just feel wrong by not telling people. I feel like if I were to keep it a secret, I'd be lying to the people, and that I'm lying to myself. I mean, some people might not feel that way, and I totally understand that. I can see the other side, but for me to feel comfortable in a situation, mostly social situations, it's something I have to talk about. It's something I have to express to the people and let them know. There are people, like at work, that I don't know. And I'm totally fine with that. I'd rather them just not even think twice, because they really have no reason to. But normally when I'm at a bar or club or something and I'm talking to people, and if I see them sort of look at me funny or look at me twice, or kind of like I will most likely say something, just because I don't care, and I understand the confusion or the questions, or just the curiosity that comes along with it. And I totally understand some people are 100% interested in it and they just need to know, they want to know, and curiosity did kill the cat. But I understand that view entirely. There are hundreds of things that I wish I could ask people about so that I knew, but asking can sometimes hurt and sometimes offend, so I assume that they just don't want to ask, so I just bring it up, and a lot of times it brings us into great conversations, and oftentimes leads to friendships or just like a great time. And I don't I don't think that telling people is bad, but I don't over excessively tell them. If I feel uncomfortable, I won't say anything, and I will just move on. But a lot of times I will. If I feel like that person is wondering, or just staring at me funny, I'll bring it up, and it's worked out for me really well. I just moderately, kind of gauge whether or not I'm willing and how I feel about that person too, So, I mean, I'd say I'm half stuffed, but not intentionally, just because I passed now. It's, I don't really, go out telling everybody, hey, I'm trans, but the information is out there, completely out there. If they wanted to know, they could find my Facebook, they could see everything, and it wouldn't bother me one bit. But why go out telling everybody, if, what do they care? Why the fuck does it matter to them? So I just don't. But in certain situations, as I said, like bars and things like that, I will bring it up. Oftentimes as a conversation starter or something to talk about. And I like talking about it because talking about your feelings helps. Which is a new thing I've learned within the last year or two. So, yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, it is Saturday, so I hope you guys are having a great weekend, and continue to have a great weekend. And have a good week until I see you next time. Alright, later.